Hi, good morning all. It's Mr. Cheese. Welcome. We've got a Football Manager 2026 rebuild. Going to be going through the tactics that we've done. We're going to be going through some of the players we buy, and then we're going to be having a look at a few other little bits and bobs. We'll see how we did in year one, and then it's a rinse repeat for year two. So this is a 2-year vid, and then I'll be doing year 3 and 4 on a separate video. And depending on how it goes with Leeds United, we might do a year 5, 6. You never know. And I might even return and do a year 7, 8, maybe even a 9, 10. We'll see what can we do with this Leeds United side. So Football Manager 2026, Leeds United rebuild. Why Leeds? Well, in FM here, we pick Leeds. Let's go to club history and honours. And we're going to see something here. You know, Leeds recently came up from the Sky Bet Championship. So this is their first season after that championship. Before that, at the highest level of football, what did Leeds win? Well, we're going back to 1992. And that was with Howard Wilkinson, who was the last English manager to win a English top-flight league, which was the old First Division, if I recall. And I think it was a year after that it went to the Premier League. And Howard Wilkinson's team of 92 had some real legends in it. Eric Cantona, Gordon Strachan, Gary McAllister, Gary Speed, forgive me. Yep, David Batty. Some great players. And I was alive watching those games. And it was a great team. And I think it was a year after when Cantona went to United for £1 million, which was a giveaway. Before that, though, you're looking at the late 60s, 70s for Leeds. So if you look at the league, they 69 and 74, they win it. But then 65, 66, 70, 71, 72 runners up. Third place in 73. So Leeds were always around, kind of in that 10-year period of 65 to 75. Always around the success. And the same with the FA Cup. They won it in 72, but then a runner-up in 70, 73. And then in the sort of mid-ish 70s, 73, 75, that is the mids, 2 runners-up spots in Europe. So, you know, this is clearly a club that have had great success, but we're kind of talking 50 years ago that they had great success. And then in 92, kind of 30 years ago, they had some success, but not since. I'm not going to count the Sky Bet Championships because they're not realistic in the same way as these bigger trophies here. So, challenge 1, let's try and win something that's a big trophy again. Big trophy as in all the clubs in England have been involved in and we've won it. That's number 1. So, number 2, Leeds money. And we need to fix some of the money. We get 51-ish million in the bank, although I have sold some players to boost that slightly. And we've got a transfer budget of 20 million, but again, I'm going to show you that we've sold some players. The problem with Leeds United is we're 144 million in debt, and we want to try and get that fixed. We can't control that as a manager in the game, but if we do get success, we sell some players, I'm hoping that the board in the game will try and clear debts. I'm hoping they do that, but it's out my hand. So let's have a look at transfers. What did we do in year 1? Well, we sold a couple of players, grew Evan Pirro there to Wolves and Valencia, and we made over 20-something million. As far as purchases are concerned, I brought in a guy, Tudor, 20-year-old Nigerian kid who can play on the right-hand side. Is only 300k. He's an okay player. Nicky Cadden, 2.5 million. Again, he's got some okay numbers. He's not super elite on the left-hand side. But 2 things attracted me. 1, he's actually accomplished and natural all the way down that left side, which is great. And then also his crossing's 18, so any deep ball getting thrown in here from Nicky can land on a sixpence. So for 2.5 million, he's a great player that we can bring in. The best one, though, 575,000, is Luis Suarez. And this is a deal and a half. Not only 575,000, which is pocket change at the Premier League level, he only wanted to be a regular starter. So when I was trying to bring Lewis to Leeds United, there was none of this, I want you to bring in a better coach, I want you to improve the defence, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. There's none of that nonsense, which was great. And I never like signing players that start whinging like that. You know, just play your position. I'll worry about whether we need a decent left-back, thanks. So Lewis wasn't doing any of that, regular starter, and he was only happy with 34k. So in other words, this guy just wants to come and play football. If Suarez can score us 10 goals in the Premier League, I think we stay in the Premier League. So, and that is one of the key things. Let's sort the money out. Let's get financially stable. Let's do well in a cup competition. Let's stay in the Premier League. They're our targets in that kind of random order. It doesn't really matter. All three are important. The financial stability, a good cup run, and staying in the Premier League. If you stay in the Premier League, money comes, and that can help the debt. If we were to get relegated straight away, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And especially then if you didn't get re-promoted back up again the year after. So we need to stay in this league. And I think Luis Suarez has got something to offer. It's going to be very interesting to see how he does. It'll be exciting to see how he does in the Premier League. So great decision there, I think. Blow my own trumpet, but why not? As for tactics, tactics is a back four to begin with two midfielders, and then four up front, the wide men, and then the two front men. For Luis Suarez, of course, we're not having him racing around, so the out of possession and in possession is similar. So he's going to be kind of just up and down here, no surprise. He's not going to be racing all the way back to the defenders and then racing all the back up front. We're not doing any of that rubbish. So hopefully it doesn't tire the guys out too much. I'm 50-50 with the formation. We can score goals. I'm just worried about defence. I think we might need to tighten things up, maybe back three, wing backs, a couple of defensive midfielders, but I'll see about that next year. Let's see how this tactic does, and then we'll fiddle around if we need to. Okay, let's have a look at the starting match squad, the top 11 that play for us, and let me just make a little move there, because there we go. Just want to get Anton Stack in there. So let's have a look at our 11, and then we'll simulate year one, and we'll see how we do. So Melia in goal, who's got great aerial reach and great one-to-ones and great jumping reach, and he's 6'5". This guy's a solid goalkeeper. He's top class. He's not a French international, but that's always difficult getting into the French national side. But he's a great first choice keeper for us. Centre backs, Pascal first of all, a little bit of a Matzy Hummels look. 6'3", great jumping reach and great heading. The rest of the numbers are solid. This guy's going to clear the ball on corners and all sorts. And the same with actually Jacobiol, who's our other centre back. Again, he's 26, same. He's 6'3", the same. Again, he's got great physicals, great heading, great jumping reach. So again, you're not going to get the ball past Jacobiol, and he's just got a jaw of granite. You can see that kind of David Coulthard muscular jawline. So two very solid centre backs, solid keeper. So full backs, Jaden Bogle, he plays on the right. Can we get a better right back? Yeah, but I've not got 50 or 60 million in the bank to get someone significantly better than Jaden. He's 25 and he's going to do a job for us, so I'm not grumpy about that. I think he's got the great potential. Now on the left-hand side, I've taken a massive risk, but you know what? When you become a manager on FM26, you have to take some risks. So I've gone for this young kid. He's 17, Jaden Leno, and he's Welsh, and he's got some really good physicals for a 17-year-old. And I like his mentals and technicals. I think if we give this kid a season, we're going to be able to see how good he can become. Or maybe 2 seasons. If he works out for us, he's going to be our starting left back. If he doesn't, I might be able to sell him for a reasonable fee. He's worth nearly possibly £1 million now. We might get 5 or 6 million for him. So that could absolutely be worth it. Now, midfield. It's got Sean Longstaff, actually. It was... let me just do that so it's a little bit more neater. There we go. So Anton Stack, first of all, defensive midfield. This guy, 26-year-old German, big, strong player, 6'4". He's strong. You're not pushing this guy off the football. All-round, really good defensive midfielder, and he's 26, German. We've also got in midfield, I've got Sean Longstaff. Sean isn't the best midfielder in the world for me, but if we can get some success next year and we get a decent budget, I'm probably going to get a strong midfielder ahead of a right back, and I'm probably going to go with 2 midfielders, most likely, so it's probably going to be a defensive midfielder next year together as defensive. So that's Sean. Now up front, wide, we got Daniel James, great physicals on the right hand side. He's got okay technicals and mentals, but he's a good player. Left hand side, Wilfried Gnonto, again, monster physicals, and he's got some solid technical mentals on that left hand side, so he can do some damage alongside Daniel James. And then our two-pronged attack, we've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin in a shadow striker. Not the best finisher in the world, but let's look at his pros. Heading and jumping. So any kind of set piece in the air, Dominic can get there, and he's 6'2". If he was 6'4", it'd be even better. But also his first touch is outstanding, and his pace. So if you're kicking this ball from a distance, he's going to control it well, and he's going to run past people and possibly score. So Dominic's got some real good attributes to help get goals. And Luis Suarez, we know about Luis. We talked about him. He's got some of the best technicals and mentals in the game. Everyone else is just doing the hard work for him. But, if Luis Suarez gets the ball near the edge of the box or in the box, he's going to cause you problems, hands down. So that's our main 11. We've got a really good squad. Nicky Cadner, I'm telling you about him. Joe Rodon's in there. Tanaka, Ethan Ampadu, Brendan Aronson's good player. Jack Harrison's good player. So strength and depth wise, I'm cool with what we've got. I don't think we need to buy anyone else yet. We just need to get this game going, and we need to try and win. And final, and I'll shut up. Let's get the finances sorted as much as we can. Let's try and have a good cup run, and let's also try and do well in the Premier League and finish top 10. So let's have a look, guys. How did it go? Hi. So the Premier League, we had an amazing season in the end. We finished 6th place, which was a massive overachievement, in honesty. I'm not going to lie. We wanted to stay in the Premier League, and come Christmas, we knew we were not going to get relegated, and the board re-established. And then we said, hey, let's do top 10. So that's a huge positive. Another huge positive, if I go to the goals scored, 79. We were the 4th top scorer. And, we were getting better bang for our buck than Man City. They paid a lot of money to get 80 goals. We paid significantly less to get 79. As for defence, we were the 3rd worst. So we cannot continue that. Almost certainly I'm going to be making the change to the back 5. We're using the wing backs and 2 defensive midfielders because we can't continue to let in 75 goals in just the Premier League. We will just go retrograde and stagnate. We're not going to move forward unless we improve that defence. So that's going to be important to sort without a question of a doubt. As for the rest of the teams, Liverpool totally dominated, 98 points. An amazing season Liverpool had. And they, their last games of the season, they beat Arsenal 3-1, Ipswich 6-0. Plenty of positivity there from Anfield. Man City, Arsenal, and then Villa and Tottenham, and then ourselves. But, we came above Chelsea, Everton, Man United, West Ham, Newcastle, Palace, Brighton. So, yeah, very, very happy indeed. Great way of playing, and to come away with a result of that nature was just utterly fantastic. So, we've definitely achieved that target. We have absolutely 100% achieved that target of, can we stay in the Premier League? We've done even more. Okay, let's have a look at Cups next. Okay, so this is the Carabao Cup, and we got the easy one. We got the nice home draw against Rotherham, League One. We won that one 4-0. Great result there. Leicester getting knocked out by Sunderland 2-0. Let me just peep down some of these. I might miss some big ones because I'm blind, but hey. Southampton 0, West Ham United 1. Everton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. What the hell? How did that happen? Bolton against Doncaster there, 3-1. Barrow 0, Fleetwood 1. Great game there. Manchester United got past Wolves. That was good for them. And then Hull City took out Oldham 2-1. So, yeah, some surprises there and some that are not. So, 3rd round. So Lincoln 4, Gillingham 0, Crystal Palace 3, Leeds 4, great away win for us. Stats actually it was 50-50 game, but we were just scoring lots of goals, a bit like what I showed you in the Premier League. We score a lot, we concede a lot. So that game wraps up the season for Leeds, 4-3 away. Manchester City 4, Blackpool 2. Burnley 1, Tottenham 2. Good result there for Tottenham. Tricky away game. Newcastle battering Walsall. Sunderland knockout Villa. That's a surprise. Didn't see that. And then, of course, a massive game. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1 in the Carabao Cup. Sheffield Wednesday beat Chelsea on penalties. So that's the second kind of big scalp for Wednesday. West Ham with a big away win. Fulham with a win. Bolton get battered. And Arsenal turn over Charlton 3-1. So, hey, this is a cup. It's the way it should be. So now it's the Carabao fourth round, and Sheffield Wednesday, of all the teams they beat, they go and bloody lose to Lincoln at home on a penalty shootout. You know, poor Wednesday. Newcastle 1, Fulham 3. Bang. Didn't see Newcastle getting knocked out, but they did. We beat City at the Etihad on penalties after 2-2, but this was a second-string Pep Guardiola side. I'm not going to sit on here and pretend that we took out a team with Foden in there and Erling Haaland, because we didn't. City, it was a B team, but hey, I don't care. We won on penalties. We're through to the quarters. West Ham 1, Arsenal 4, Liverpool 2, Sunderland 0, Forest 0, Spurs 2, and a big score down there between Norwich and Watford. So some good teams in the quarterfinals, and we're one of them. So, yep, great so far. Well, you might have heard that we tend to score a lot and concede a lot. Well, there you are. Fulham 3, Leeds 7. Now, on shots at goal, we were equal, but the XG, we had an XG of over 5. And, hey, the tactic, there's something with the tactic that's working that lets us score a lot of goals. And that's brilliant. But we need to fix the sieve. So, yeah, we score 7, but we concede 3. And it won't carry on. But you know what? That was a stunning win. I was a bit worried at this point. You know, is there something going on with the engine, in the FM engine, that it's overpowered somehow by scoring? I can't see it, but I'm going to monitor it and see how it works. Arsenal 2, Watford 0, Lincoln 1, Liverpool 3, and then Cardiff lose 3-2 to Tottenham. So this is going to be a very tough stage now. We've got Arsenal, Liverpool and Tottenham. Yeah, the cream always rises to the top. However way we look at it, we've got an absolute nightmare of a second leg, semi-final, sorry. So, Carabao Cup semi-finals, let's go to Leeds first, and you can see we've won. This was unbelievable. You know, we had two solid Arsenal sides. Saka was playing, Declan Rice is playing, you know, full-strength defence was out there, Martinelli's playing, and we get a 2-2 draw at Elland Road, and then 3-3 in the next leg. So that actually is being displayed ever so subtly wrong, because what I can tell you is that the home game at Elland Road was 2-2. The 3-3 result was actually the Emirates game. So a slight bug there with FM, unless I'm reading that wrong, that I think the teams should be reversed, and then the 5 and the P for the penalty shootout win should be on the other side, because it wasn't 3-3 at Elland Road. But 5-5, we win on penalties. I'm going to take that, because that was against a tough Arsenal side. And all I wanted was a good cut run. Well, I've got more than that. We are in the final of the Carabao Cup. As for Tottenham, 5-1 on aggregate. And based on the fact that we can see a 0-0 there, it was clearly 5-0 in the other game. So absolutely unbelievable outcome. We have Tottenham in the final. I don't know. Can we win it? And the answer was yes, we can indeed. And Leeds United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. We got to a penalty shootout and we win. So Carabao Cup in the bag. We've won the Carabao Cup. Absolutely stunning result. And it's just perfection for us, for want of a better word. Let's have a look at our FA Cup now. Welcome. Right then, so let's have a look. This was the FA Cup, same season, and Accrington 0, Tottenham 3. We batter Queen's Park Rangers 6-1. We got a pretty straightforward away game there, and QPR were just poor. They had loads of injuries, and it just never was going to be any good for them from the start. We went easy. Oldham are out to Burton. Preston and Southampton there with a good game. West Ham 0, Everton 2. Big Premier League clash there. Salford get a penalty win over Forest. That's a surprise. Liverpool turn over Bournemouth. So some Premier League teams meeting here. Championship, City win comfortably. Manchester United are embarrassed. They get battered 4-1. How the hell did that happen? Chelsea are out. That's a surprise. They lose. Further down, Burnley knock out Wolves. Another surprise. Birmingham and Villa, 4-1 to Villa. Arsenal batter Hull, 4-1. Cheltenham are out, which would have been it's a shit. I always like it if they're, kind of some of the lower clubs surprise us. But hey, let's go fourth round. Right, Millwall 0, Reading 3, Huddersfield are through, Sheffield Wednesday knock out Salford. Good run for Salford there. We beat Villa away and we were totally outplayed. I'm not going to lie. Villa had total control of everything, and how the hell we got that game, God knows. Tottenham 3, Coventry 1. That was a great win for Tottenham because Coventry had a really good team out, to be fair. And looking down the list, Burton 0, Liverpool 2. Southampton put 6 past Cambridge. Newcastle are out to Ipswich. Everton 0, Sunderland 1. And then Oxford 0, City 1. So, again, we got some surprise results here. Let's go to the fifth round. Okay, Football Association Cup, fifth round. Leeds 2, Norwich City 1. We should have won by a bigger score, but hey, we won the game and we're through to the quarterfinals again. So again, another good cup run for Leeds United. I'm happy. Manchester City 4-2 against Sunderland. Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday there. Tottenham squeezed past them. Liverpool scrape on penalties past Reading, not really enthralling. Grimsby 0, Southampton 4, and Arsenal batter Burnley 5-1. So no real major shocks there. Let's have a peep at that quarterfinal. And this is where we had some brilliant results. Man City, of course, winning at home 3-1. Tottenham as well. Tottenham 2, Huddersfield 0. And at the bottom, Colchester 0, Liverpool 5. So big win for Liverpool. And there it is in the middle. This is at the Emirates with a full-strength Arsenal side. We did this to Arsenal in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, and we've just knocked them out of the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, 4-2. We were totally outplayed. Arsenal doubled on us on everything. Double XG, double shots on goal, double possession, you name it. 4-2 to Leeds. And how have we managed to beat Arsenal? I don't know. But we've done it multiple times. And, not beat them in a sense that it was 2-2 and 3-3 in the Carabao, but knock them out. So, FA Cup semi-final. Now, this was unbelievable. Tottenham 0, Man City 2 was a great game. And we won 3-1. And Luis Suarez scored the first goal. And what a game that would have been. Luis Suarez's first return to England since he played for Liverpool. We're at Wembley. And the first goal is a Luis Suarez goal for Leeds United. And then it was Daniel James who scored 2 goals to make it 3-0 for Leeds. Before Ekitike came back and put a goal in for Liverpool. So what a performance by us. Truly unbelievable to win that game. And, of course, we're playing Manchester City in the final. And get ready for this. We were hammered. Totally outplayed. City dominated in every way. Erling Haaland set up 2 goals. Erling Haaland scored 2 goals. And I joke not, it was 5-1 at 48 minutes. So, yeah, the bus was parked, let's say, because I didn't want the embarrassment of leaving Wembley losing 8-1 and 9-1, which could have happened. And I don't want to see that. So we had a great game in the end for what we expected. We played well for the final half an hour of the game kind of thing, 40 minutes. keeping it 0-0, although I don't think City were that fussed because they'd already won the game. But our cup runs, we finished sixth in the league. We're scoring goals. We concede a few, but more importantly, two great cup runs. We win one, and we get to a final of the FA Cup. So for me, that's a fantastic finish to the season for Leeds United. A great first year. We've qualified for Europe with that Carabao Cup win, 6th place position. So next season, we are in Europe. So I'm going to say that was a very successful first year. Silverware is at Elland Road, and what a season. So what I want to just finish on now is some of the transfers that we picked up during the summer, and then the transfers into the next season. So, sorry, let me rephrase that. The transfers that we'd have done in January, mid through that season, I apologise, and then the transfers in the summer after this season. So let me pause and just bring them up. Hi, here we are. So sales, what did we finish off with? So these were some of the sales we did during the season you've just seen with the December sales. We sold Tanaka to Villa for 20 million, Noah Okafor to Bergamo in Italy for 18 million, Sebastian there from Hertha Berlin, 10 and a bit million, and there was some other bits and bobs, adding up to about 80 million. So being able to sell 80 million worth of players that never impacted our first team was just fantastic. We did bring in a few extra people. I brought in Tom Davis, and Tom is an excellent player. He's a good squad player for us. And Gabe Forsyth came in. He's a young Scottish player from Norwich. And if we have a look, this is Gabe Forsyth's numbers. 20 years old, a lot of potential there with Gabe. And that's next year's. And Tom Davis, this is the only thing we've actually sold Tom since, so it kind of messes up the transfer, because it kind of says from Leeds. That's us buying it. Tom Davis should be on next year's as a sale, if that makes sense, and it's not done that. So still some little silly bugs actually in here, but I'm not ruining too much because I'm just going to do this straight. So let's flick across there. We made a load more sales. Let me sort them in order. So ready for next season. Ethan went to Saudi Arabia for 18 million, and no real grumble there. Lucas Perry went to Inter, 16 million. Gabriel left and Tom Davis left to Damac there, 2.4. So again, we made about 44 million, but yeah, Mr. Cheese has been buying. And who did I get? Well, the first player was Brennan Johnson, who's kind of an attacking player, and I'm already giving it away a little bit. I can't help this sometimes. And but the main one, 74 million, was Victor Froholt, who's a very, very, very good young defensive midfielder from Denmark. He's 21 years old, 12 caps, 6'2", solid player, and he's a superstar. And then Brennan Johnson, he came from Tottenham for not much money, and he's got some brilliant stats. And moreover, the reason I bought him into this position to replace Luis Suarez, because Suarez did quit, was the finishing was 17, composure 19. So a great player. So you've seen who we've bought. You've already seen some giveaways at goals that have gone in, but in about 2 seconds, you're going to see the league table. So let's go, just before we do that, let's have a look at the tactic that changed. So let me just wiggle that there and go to match day and tactics. So I did tell you I was going to make a change, and there it is. This was a back three. I brought Rodon in to help in that back three, who is our Welsh 6'4" monster. good overall stats, but not in the same world as Pascal or Biel. Melier still with us. Bogle's still with us. No real major change to Bogle's numbers. He's still pretty good. But let's have a look at Lainu. Let's have a look at Jaden. And what a change. So, I'm going to show you what's happened this year. You've seen some of the stats, but it won't ruin it too much. But you can see these physicals have massively improved. His mentals have improved. And, now they're talking about this guy being worth 5 million, and he's 19 years old. Interestingly, he's changed his allegiance now to England. And that's something I only sort of spotted out the corner of my eye. In our defensive, we've got Anton Stack, our German superstar, who's 28, great midfielder there, as well as Froholt, who's Danish. And then out wide, Daniel James is still with us. Jack Harrison has come in, and Johnson, of course, is our striker. So that's the position that we're in. It's a 3, and these guys just all come back again, and that's pretty much it. Still a gegenpress, and again, the mentality changes. So let's have a look at the league table. Well, we got better. We got better in that we finished 5th, which again was still a fantastic achievement for us. We finished 6th the previous season, if I jump backwards, we did finish 6th. And if you recall, 79 and 75 goals, the new tactic has put 78 goals, but 52 conceded. That is making a massive difference for us. 67 points this year compared to 60. So have we got better? Yeah. Now, Liverpool were the dominated team last year, and Liverpool have just totally gone downhill. Last year, they 31 wins out of 38 and 98 points, 95 goals. This is similar to reality as well. Arne Slot's first year, he was fantastic, and then Pop, only 69 points, which was pretty poor. Arsenal won the league with 72, so get in there, Arsenal fans. Manchester City, again, just second. Newcastle made a massive recovery. Last year, of course, they were awful in 12th. They've jumped back up to 4th. Villa 6th. United have made progress. Tottenham have retrograded. Chelsea are in all kinds of hurt. But for relegation, Coventry City, poor, 21 points. Ipswich the same. And Wolves unfortunately joined in the drop, which was disappointing for them. But for Leeds United, goals scored were second best. Conceded were kind of mid-place. So I'm going to take that as a positive, although I am aware that the points tally was lower for some of the big clubs at the top. If we look last year, 98 points, you sometimes see 80s, 79. It was kind of, you won the league with 72. Villa could have won the league last year based on what they did the previous year, this year. So it's kind of it seemed a bit misleading. We're going to have to see, but we went from 60 points to 67. I'd love to get in the 70s. But 2 seasons at Leeds, and we finished 6th and 5th. For me, that's really positive. And I can't wait to see the cup competitions. And guess what? Europe. What can we do in Europe? But before that, let's have a look at the Sky Bet. Okay, so we had some relegations last year, but who's going to join us in the Premier League? And we've got Leicester and Brentford, and then there's a playoff on the go. So that's a Sky Bet Championship, and some of the teams that are in big trouble are down here. Hull, not good at the moment. They're in trouble. Norwich, mid-place. And the Sky Bet Championship is actually a very competitive league. It really is. And the quality of football is really good. But we want to see the cup competitions. We want to see the Carabao, the FA Cup, and then Europe. So let's go. Let's get this one sorted, and let's see how the guys do in the big ones. Howdy, Carabao Cup. Third round of the Carabao Cup. We won this last year, so let's have a peep. We got Newcastle winning through there in round 3 this year. Newcastle had a great season, remember. They jumped up that Premier League. We battered Bradford 5-0, but, hey, we're a cup team. No trouble for Man City. Poor old Salford. Had some good cup performances last year, but straight out, Everton are just all over the place in cups. Fulham beat them this time 2-0. Chelsea, what's going on at Chelsea? Birmingham beat them 2-0, knock them out. West Ham 2, Liverpool 3, big game there. Man United win against Oxford, and Tottenham beat Swindon. Arsenal win. So, yep, we're looking good. 4th round. So we get a penalty shootout there with Birmingham squeezing through. Forest over Leicester 4-2. Burnley 1, Liverpool 2. Manchester United 0, Villa 1. That would be blooming awful at Old Trafford. Tottenham 1, Coventry 0. Have a look at that. So we did this last year to City, and we done it again 1-0. It still was a B team, but I'm going to take it. Brentford turn over Newcastle on penalties, and Arsenal batter Port Vale. Quarterfinals of the Carabao. We beat Birmingham 2-1 away. Kind of deserved. Birmingham were not great. Villa 1, Brentford 2. Brentford surprising everybody this year. Tottenham 1-0 win, and Liverpool big win against Arsenal there. So a solid result, which took us to the semi-finals. Brentford 2, Leeds 7 on aggregate. We had a fantastic game when we won big. And Tottenham squeezed Liverpool 3-2. So guess what? Last year we beat Tottenham on penalties in the Carabao Cup final, and we win. This year we're playing Tottenham again. Can we do the double on them? No. We were found out. Tottenham beat us 3-1. I wanted that win. I really wanted another cup competition victory. It would have been bloody great, but it didn't happen. Okay, FA Cup time. Let's have a quick peep down here at any big uns. Villa winning against Wickham 2-0. Everton turn over Leyton Orient 3-1. Good result there. Crystal Palace are out. That was a surprise. Manchester City 6, Reading 0 there, which was a fantastic home win for Manchester City. Brighton turn over Grimsby. Newcastle lose out on penalties to Bristol Rovers. That's awful. Great result for Rovers. They're a League 2 side, beating Newcastle. But a big win there. Further down, Chelsea beat Norwich. Good result. Liverpool, this is a big one. In the 3rd round, Liverpool 0, Tottenham 1. United lose to Stoke. We beat Fulham 2-1. Leicester win big. More games to come. Hull win. Blackburn lose to Queen's Park Rangers. Arsenal lose to Luton. So we've got some surprises already in this competition. 4th round, we've got Man City turning over West Brom 1-0. Tottenham win, comfortable again. Brighton big win against Southampton. Leicester win, Villa win. Let's have a look down here at other big teams. Leeds beat Swindon 5-0 away. No surprise there. Swindon turned up, but we were on fire. Chelsea are out. Everton are through. So at the moment, we've not got many great teams. But let's see what happens. Stoke get through against Plymouth, and Tottenham lose to Brighton. Another big name goes out. Peterborough 0, Brentford 2. Everton turn over Manchester City on penalties. And, what a turnaround. Everton had a bad cup competitions last year. City got to the final and won the FA Cup. They beat us. Bournemouth squeezed through. We reached our limit when Villa beat us 4-2. Not much to grumble about. We were not very good, I'm afraid. Wolves win and Sunderland win. So this could be an interesting FA Cup, Quarterfinals. Sunderland 1, Everton 5. Everton looking good, They're a dangerous side here. Brighton get the penalty shootout. Bournemouth beat Wolves and Brentford win. So at the moment, I'm going to say Brighton or Everton. I think Everton could win this. Semi-finals. There's me opening my mouth. Brentford 3, Everton 0. That was just unreal. And Brighton beat Bournemouth 2-1. So a Brentford-Brighton FA Cup final. This is great. But guess what? Still to be played. So I will update you after I've gone through things. Mainly because of the point I've saved it at. But We will be playing that before the end of this video, and this actually is the 22nd, so it's like one day because the game is going to be played, but there's a reason, and what that reason is we're going to go to the Europa, the competition we were in. Let's have a look. You know what? I clicked it, and I'll come back. Brentford too. Sorry about that. Brentford beat Brighton 2-0. So Brentford have won the Football Association Cup, and an absolutely magnificent achievement for Brentford. And I've clicked the wrong button there. Hang on a sec. Yeah, that's better. Full screen. Yeah, so Brentford winning, and I've got to show you this. Look who it is. You know, it just happens. Jose Mourinho is the manager of Brentford, and Jose wins again. It's just, just success and trophies just glued to this guy. It's like he's like a magnet to those victories. So, kudos to you, Jose. You're a superstar. We love you to bits, and you deserve that with Brentford. Take my hat off, sir. So we're going to have a look at our European competition now, with our Leeds team. Okay, welcome. So this is the Europa group stage, and we had a very good Europa competition in the league phase. Now, we played 8 games. Now, I'm not going to hover my mouse over the 6 wins, and there's a reason for that, because when I do that, it won't show you the 6 league phase games that we won. It'll show you that we played in the Premier League, and it basically was our last 6 games, I think. So it screws everything up and kind of gives everything away, which is something I've been trying to kind of balance around doing a video with FM26. So there's still some little annoying little bugs like that one. I don't want to do it. I can do it with a team that don't matter. Let me show you Panathinaikos. If I hover the mouse over Panathinaikos, you can see what it's doing here. It's showing that they have played, but it's only showing there. If I'm hovering over that 3, it should show me 3 draws. That's what I understand that hover as. And if I hover over there, the 8, nothing happens. If I hover over 3 wins. If I hover over the 1, nothing. Is it not doing it now? What's going on? Oh no! If I hover over the wins, it shows me all sorts of nonsense. And then it doesn't, so it's just not working right. But if I hover over Leeds, it'll give you other knockout Europa League games against us. So, dear FM, love you to bits. Fix that one for us, please. But when we got into this Europa League phase, there was no one really in the league that I was frightened of, that Leeds couldn't manage against. Valencia, Stuttgart, these are good teams, but they're not world powers. We're not in the Champions League. Ajax are a very good team. Chelsea were with us. And if I scroll down here near the bottom, Sparta Prague and Sturm Graz and Benfica. So we did great. And to win at the top and not lose was fantastic. We scored 20 goals and conceded 5. So, you know what? Kudos. We played very, very well indeed. And we qualified. So this is the knockout playoff. Trabzonspor getting through there. AZ winning easily 5-1. Chelsea get through against Bromby, no surprise really. Celtic were disappointing. I was hoping Celtic could squeeze through, be good for Scottish football, but Bo Glimt popped them by 1 goal. Massive game there with Ajax 7-5 over Bâle. Fiorentina needed a penalty shootout. Utrecht are out to Genk, and Porto win. So the next one was the round of 16, and this was the one we got Bodo Glimt, because obviously we were a qualifier, so we win that 11-5 on aggregate, and we get one of them other silly ones, 7-2, big win, but hey, 11-5, I'm taking that. Real Vallecano knock out Fiorentina, bit of a surprise there. AZ go through. Ajax lose to Monaco, big game that one, Ajax and Monaco, that'd have been great to watch. But a 3-0 and a 5-0. So the games were kind of both one-sided, but overall good games. Valencia, no trouble. Porto beat Stuttgart. Galatasaray win. And Chelsea are out to Copenhagen. I what a bad season Chelsea have been having. Quarterfinals, Europa League. Leeds United squeezed past Rayo Vallecano 5-4. That they were nice. Oh, what word am I trying to? You're on the edge of your seat and you're biting your nails on those games. It was so close. Anyone could have won those games, but we managed to just spawn our way through on a 5-4. And it was luck. It wasn't a super skill. It wasn't like brilliant management by me. It was just we got balls deflected all over the place and other crazy things happening that night. So on both actually. So we got through. Monaco through, Porto go through, and Copenhagen go through. So actually 4 good teams. Monaco and Porto are dangerous. In the semi-final, if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Copenhagen. Porto are just a nasty side and Monaco are tough. So semis, well, what about that? We get Monaco and I'm thinking, right, we're done. And we batter them 5-0. And I don't know how that happened because it was the same team that played in the last round against the Spanish side. Whether everything just gelled and clicked, but we won both legs and 5-0. And never mind the Carabao Cup. We are now through to Leeds' first European final for the first time since the mid-1970s. 50 years it's taken for Leeds United to get to a form of European competition. And no, it's not the Champions League. But you know what? For a football club like Leeds United with Mr. Cheese as manager, I'm taking this. I don't care if we can win this Europa League. It's brilliant. It'll be amazing for Leeds United. And we're playing Copenhagen because they beat Porto. And we win. We win 3-2. Leeds United are the Europa winners. It's our first European success. And you know what that means for season 3-4? Well, 3. We're in the Champions League. Because if I'm right, and I think I am, if you in the Europa League, you are in the Champions League. So we should hopefully be getting a block of cash that's good money that can help Leeds United in the Champions League. And we're a top 5 side. And now in 2 seasons, we've got 2 competitions that we've won, which is amazing. And this is great. This is absolutely fantastic for Leeds United. Now, just before I go and escape, let me update you with the Champions League for the last 2 years. Okay, so this was the 25-26 season, so it's the season before the one I was just talking about. And these are the quarterfinals. We saw Paris Saint-Germain go through big. We saw Manchester City lose to Barcelona. We saw Real Madrid take over Atletico, and we saw Arsenal big win against Napoli. Semi-final that year, Paris beat Barca, and Real Madrid lose to Arsenal 5-4. And in the final, it was Arsenal who beat Paris Saint-Germain 2-1. So last year, and Liverpool won the league with 98 points. Arsenal were the Champions League winners. And this year, of course, Arsenal won the league. So as for let me just go to the quarter there and go to this season. Just refresh that. So this was this season, and Arsenal are not in it. Marseille win. Liverpool beat Barcelona on penalties. Bayern Munich knock out Man City, and Madrid in a massive 7-5 win over Leipzig. Semi-finals, Liverpool turn over Marseille, and a big Real Madrid win. So Liverpool, Real Madrid, 2 of the biggest names probably in European football ever, and that's another one. So let's have a look. We're 29th of the 5th. It is the 24th on the game, so let me do this live right now. Let me show you what happens. Well, if you're a Liverpool fan, I'm sorry, Real Madrid won it 2-0. Not much to grumble at there. Real Madrid are a great team. So let's go back to the full screen and we'll finish off having a look at the players. Right, full screen. That's better. And forgive me, guys, the only reason I do a shrunk screen is because I can't move this mezzanine box, and if I was showing you the Europa League, you're going to see that we won it before even. So, that'd be a nice one as well for FM. Just let us move some of these mezzanine boxes around if that's what you call them. But let's have a look at Real Madrid and that victory over Liverpool FC. There it is. So Courtois, they've got Trent, big one that for Trent to take one over Liverpool. Camavinga, Ardagula, Kylian, Vinny. Yeah, great team. Another great team though. So 2-0 and kind of a 50-50 game. Liverpool actually should have probably done a lot better. Valverde red carded as well on 37. You'd have probably thought Liverpool would have come back and got something out of that one. But you know what? Football is football, and these kind of strange things happen. And hey, so be it. But unfortunately, there for Liverpool. Right then, so let me just go back here. What I want to do now is review the squad we've got and go through our first team. So when I'm clicking on my first team now, we've had some great players. So Meslier, first of all, he's still our keeper. He's still got great numbers. He's 27 now. Obviously, we've done a couple of seasons. If we look at his career stats here, particularly these numbers, his last 2 games under me, clean sheets 7, clean sheets 9, 30 plus games apiece. So solid football player, and he's done really well. So we've changed our formation, of course. Let's have a look at Joe. So Joe Rodon, he's a good centre back. He's not going to set anyone on fire with his brilliance, but if we go to his career numbers, he didn't play much the year before. He was kind of more a substitute because we were playing a back 4. But his overall performance hasn't really changed, although he did score, but he's played more games. That might just be mathematics. Solid performance there from Joe. Biel, who is just a superstar, 28 now. Great physical still. He's just a wonderful football player. If we go into the career stats for our superstar defender, 19 million Leeds paid for him from Udinese when I first took over. Kind of a bit of a retrograde on performance though. His numbers were a bit higher, but it's a different formation, so I'm not going to eat his lunch that much. But yeah, solid player. He's with us until 2030, so we've got another few years yet, and we can hopefully get him on a longer contract. Pascal, one of my favourites, is that Mats Hummels smiley face. You can't go wrong, and he's been a Leeds player for a long time, and an utter superstar. He's definitely got better. In this formation, he scored 3, played 38. So, his ability to play regularly in the Premier League is great. 64 games overall, to be honest. But again, his numbers are still fantastic, and he's 27 now. So the wing-backs, Jayden Bogle, stayed in that kind of right side. Some improvements over here with his stamina. He's definitely got better with his physicals. He's 26. Totally 58 games, 4 conceded. Premier League, goal in 36. So, yeah, Jayden Bogle's a solid player. Jane Lanu's the man I want to pay attention to. He's the young kid. He's now 19, and look at them numbers. Better physicals, much better mentals, and that decisions is great. Would prefer the determination higher to boost his figures a bit more, but but 47 games, 2 goals, jumped to his career. For Leeds, $500,000 we paid for him, bargain, and 38 and a goal a season. So he's a great player, and he's 19 years old. So yeah, he's our experiment. We love him to bits. So now midfield, and Victor, first of all, Victor Froholt from Denmark, and good versatility in that middle. Really solid football player. 6 goals in 59 all round. And if we go to his career, we paid £74 million from Porto for this guy, and I'm happy with that. 4 goals in 37. He isn't an attacking midfielder. He isn't. He's a defensive kind of kingpin, and he's bloody good at that role. So at the moment, that's £74 million well spent. You might disagree. I think it's well spent. His physicals are solid. His mentals are great. I think he's a great player, and he's 21. So, 21 years old. And if it doesn't work out, in 4 years, we'll still get damn good money for him. Anton Stach is just a god of defensive midfield. He's not played any more German games. I'm not sure if it does update Germany because of the license for the caps. I don't know. But great player all round. 8 goals in 60 for the season. Premier League wise, he's got better. And again, 19 million, 7.03. His stats have improved on the average rating. 5 goals and he's played 37 games. So much better for Anton Stach. He's a better player and he's improved. So this is all positive. So our 3 men, Daniel James, and Daniel's numbers were bonkers because if you just look at Daniel, you wouldn't really touch him sometimes. You'd look and say he's got great physicals, but a lot of the rest of this really doesn't make you go, yeah, this guy's a first stringer. But 30 goals in 61 games, all round. And then in the Premier League, 17 in 38. That's his best haul ever in a season. And it's in the Premier League. So that's absolutely fantastic. But in fairness, that was more my fault probably the way I played the formation, because he was scoring 12 and 13 when we're in the Sky Bet. So that's probably my mistake. But actually, he had a 7.41 rating. Loads of assists. But hey, I don't know. Daniel James is a great player. He's staying in the team. Simple as that. So on the other side, Jack Harrison, I put in as the first stringer this time. And again, let's just go to overview. 9 in 21. Not as effective, Jack. He was better last year, 4 in 27. Although 3 in 18, but his rating's down a little bit. But he's still a good player. He's 30, though. And of course, up front is Brennan Johnson, who, again, let's jump overview. 30 and 40. That's insane. And he's got, that's what got me to him. 17 finishing, 19 composure. That's Luis Suarez finishing, an anticipation of 17. Go to his career, and this is Premier League, and he's been a good player when he was at Nottingham Forest in the Championship with 16 goals. Had a bit of a drop spell. Tottenham spent 47.5 million. He scored 11. We bought him for 10, and he's achieved. But in fairness, what we're looking at is not just the league. Look at the Continental in the Europa League, 15 goals in 11 games. So basically, Brennan was just bagging it in Europe for fun, which was superb. Other players of note that weren't in the main 11, Wilfried Gnonto, top class player again. He's one of he could be a starter. He could be a starter for Jack Harrison. But, 14 goals, and he had a lot of substitutions there. Jumped to his career, and in his last 2 seasons, 11 goals a season. So, Wilfried, very, very, very good player indeed. And the rest of the guys, we're down here with Calvert-Lewin. Again, that's more rotation for Brennan. Calvert-Johnson, excuse me. Dominic 17 in 38, great numbers. Go to Dominic's career, 5 in 34, then 9 in 25. So he was actually getting better in that formation, but he's a good player. But his peak was 2020, 2021 with Everton, 16 and 13 goals. He's not got in double figures since. So Calvert-Lewin, I think he's stretched his time with us. We're probably going to look for a player, almost certainly, to replace him with. But, this is a club that's finished 5th, 6th in the Premier League and has won the Europa League and the Carabao Cup. Let's have a quick look at the money. Good news and bad news. We've got 152 in the bank. There's still a debt because the bloody board went out and got more loans out. But I spent that 74 on what was available in the transfer budget, but we got another 70 plus million. Now it is only May, so I'm going to wait for the money to pop in from other bits and bobs in year 2, and then we can prep and plan for year 3. So that's the first 2 seasons. I hope it was useful. I don't know if you like these kind of videos, but if you do, that's great. And but for our Leeds United side, this has been great. You know, if we sort by goals, you know, Daniel James with 30 goals, and the same with Brennan and Daniels. Again, let me just go back to that because I don't think I made a big point of it with the season stats. But 17 goals, 9 in the Europa League. So, you know, Daniel James, brilliant season. Calvert-Lewin, Ganonto, these guys are substitutions from the main squad. And a really, really good performance. And I'm not sure if some of these guys are going to stay. Let's have a look at Wilfried. Okay, yeah, he's with us till 2031. So we have done some contracts. I did that just before the Christmas. So if I search on the expiry, what are we? We're May of 27. So Brendan Aronson's probably going to go. I'm not sure. Let me try actions and a contract. Oh, okay. At Christmas, he told me to sod off. Negotiate. Yeah. 54 grand. I'll take that. We got some more guys here. Let's have a peep. Let's try and get Woba because he's a solid defender. Could do with him staying with us rather than me having to fiddle around looking for. He's interested as well. I've got a feeling this is because we've won the Europa, and all these boys are sniffing around Champions League football now. Almost certainly. Let me see if I can keep hold of Calvert-Lewin. 70k. If he wants more than that, I might say no, but his numbers are too good. You know, it'll cost me less money giving him a bit of cash than it will to try and replace him. So contracts, let's... there you go. Nah, Dominic's done. So I'll have a look at some of the others with our transfers. Again, there's no editor on here. This is all me having to buy the players, me having to review the contracts. I'm not delegating that kind of stuff down because I don't trust the AI sometimes to do it. But 2 great seasons, and Champions League football next year, guys. Thank you.